Okay, welcome back, and today should be the last of the ASP.NET Core version or aspect of this creating character counter web app in 3 different frameworks. So we finished with Angular first, we're going to finish with ASP.NET Core in this video, and then we're going to move on and create the same web app, or basically the same web app. It's not maybe going to look the exact same, but you get the point. We're going to create the same thing in Flask. I thought this would be a fun project. If you haven't kept up since the beginning and you want to, there should be a whole playlist of these videos, and if you like this, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any in the future. And today's probably going to be a pretty quick one. We're going to talk about the OnPaste Event handler in JavaScript and some of the little trickery you need to do in order for it to work as we need it to work in this particular app. And so if we just refresh ourselves where we're at right now, we added JavaScript to our index.cshtml page in our home controller. So this is basically our home page. We added a text area for some users to type. We added a key event, an onKeyUp event. And what that does is every time a user brings a key up from their keyboard after pressing it down, it'll fire this particular event and it'll fire this function. And I talked about something that's cool about this. If I type in something here and I go to cut it, and I go to paste it with Control V, that is considered a key up event because I'm pressing the Control and the V, and then I'm bringing the V back up. But the one scenario this doesn't work for is if I cut this again, and I right click in this text area and then select paste. Nothing happens because there's no key being pressed on my keyboard, it's rather my mouse. But there is something we can do, don't worry. Not that I think you guys were worried. But there's another event handler with JavaScript that we can use called OnPaste. And you might be saying to yourself, well, that's what we need, right? Shouldn't we just use the OnPaste and then copy what to run, this particular function, and paste it in there as well? And then now, if we run this, it should work, right? If I start typing, I cut this, I right click and I hit paste, nothing ends up happening. And that's because there seems to be a race condition or a timing issue. Whenever I paste, this gets fired before the text area seems to be populated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another function down here, and let's call it char pasted. And this is going to use the setTimeout function, which takes in 2 parameters. The first parameter is what are we going to run? In our case, we want to run this char updated function. So let's paste that here. But we don't want the open and close parentheses, so we'll get rid of those. And then we're going to set a timeout value. So this could be milliseconds, but in our case, we're just going to set it to 0. And basically what this is doing is it's giving it enough time from when we hit paste to populate this text area, and then we're going to end up running this particular function. And if we restart our app and we run through that same scenario again, now it should work. So if I start typing, I cut it, Control X, and then I right click here and select paste. It didn't work because I didn't update the event handler. Let's try that again. Start typing, cut, and we'll paste. And now, because of that set timeout function, it gives it enough time before checking the value of this text area and therefore checking what the length of that value is. And guys, I think this is all we need to do in our character counter app in ASP.NET Core. It does everything that we need it to do. And I think in the next video, we're going to move on and do the same app but in Flask. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. I'm enjoying making these, and I hope to see you in the future video.